All right, thank you. Good afternoon and welcome everyone to our 5,465th meeting of the Oakland Rotary Club. I'm Tom Limon, president of the club, founded in 1908. We are the third oldest Rotary Club in the world with more than 36,000 Rotary clubs in over 200 countries. Our club represents a diverse membership of 280 business, professional, and community leaders united to serve our local and international communities through a commitment to service above self. I'd like to welcome all our friends on Zoom. I can't see you, the screen's not on, but hello everyone. All right. Sean Marks, are you here? All right, Sean Marks will share his thought for the day.
Happy holidays, everyone. This is one of my favorite days of the year for many, many years. Lots of you know that my company Give Something Back for many years matched all the donations from the floor for Feed the Hungry Day. And today is Feed the Hungry Day. So I think over the years, it probably amounted to a couple 100,000. So this has been a really successful, many-year tradition for this club, and I'm looking forward to really making it happen today. Now, rather than giving back through my financial donations, I give back through teaching yoga. So come join me for a yoga class. No real quote for thought for the day, but let's really ring the bell hard today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sean. Okay, we are going to get started with our Paul Harris Society recognitions. So let's see, Christine Watson. So, okay, so if Sandeep can come to the stage, Teresa Wand, Bob Breaker, Danny Mai, Sean Marks, Linda Chu, Pat Williams, Robert Kidd, Robert Rayburn, Garrett Reed. There was one more, Dudley Thompson. So this is to make up for during the pandemic, we weren't able to meet in person. So we're sort of catching up on recognizing all these folks as Paul Harris members and also elevating. So funds donated to Rotary International Foundation fund our Rotary projects all over the world. The Rotary Foundation recognizes those individuals who contribute 1,000 or more annually or over time to the annual fund, Polio Plus, or approved foundation grants by inducting them and achieving higher levels in the Paul Harris Society. So, and to help our members achieve Paul Harris, our club will match up to $500 to help our members achieve the first Paul Harris levels, not level, but levels. And today we recognize all of our friends on stage as achieving Paul Harris or a higher level of Paul Harris Society. All right. Thank you. So let's. No, you're good. So everyone, enjoy your fellowship. We're going to take a quick photo with our guests down here.
Wait a minute. Wasn't there? Wait a minute. I think there was another one. Right, Christine?
Of course there is.
We would like to recognize our president, Tom Limon. Bravo, Tom, and everyone on stage. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you again. Thank you again. Joe Ronca. All right, Joe rings a bell in honor of everyone who's donated to the Rotary Foundations. All right. Yes, sir. Okay. So Jason reminded me, we did not introduce our guests. How rude of me. If you brought a guest or if you are sitting next to a guest or a past Rotarian, if you could please stand up and we'd like to recognize you. Okay, Teresa.
Yeah, happy holidays, everyone. I'm here at all.
Okay. Hey, can we switch mics maybe? All right, Teresa.
Happy holidays. I'm here at all.
Check.
Yes, you can.
No, let's, it's not.
Hello?
Needs to be louder.
Hello. Oh, there we are. Okay, great. Thank you. Teresa. Plan.
Okay, happy holidays, everyone. I'm here as always with my most excellent youngest son, Luke Wyant.
Hey.
Welcome. You're welcome. Teresa. Okay, Greg Annis.
All right. Good afternoon, President Tom and fellow Rotarians. I have a guest today, my father, Larry Ennis, who is a past president of the Rotary Club of Pleasanton. He's also a former owner and current insurance broker at Cook Disharoon and Great House right here in Oakland. Also, I have another guest, my mother, Carolyn Ennis. Oh, go.
All right.
I have another guest, Carolyn Annis, a resident of Pleasanton, who is a 35 years retired school teacher. So please welcome them both.
And I hear that your mom makes some incredible cookies, some chocolate and white chocolate cookies back there, maybe? All right. Ken Benson.
President Tom and fellow Rotarians, it's my great pleasure today to introduce my guests, Sharon Cornu, the Executive Director of St. Mary's, who was
A little louder, Ken, I'm sorry.
Sharon Cornu, Executive Director of St. Mary's, who will introduce the other guest and probably thank us for our last delivery of Feed the Hungry check.
All
Sharon?
right.
Thank you so much, Ken. I'm joined today by St. Mary's Center Director of Programs and Impact. I understand I can take a minute. Is that correct? Thank you.
More or less.
Can I just ask who served a meal at St. Mary's Center? Has anybody volunteered and served a meal at St. Mary's Center
We need to though.
last year? Thank you. Thank you. Last year, we served 13,000. We're open 6 days a week for breakfast and lunch because that hot meal is nutrition, it's fellowship, and it's an entryway to services. The seniors we serve are among the fastest growing segment of our homeless community.
Awesome. How exciting.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you. So Ken and Allison, if we can get that in the calendar for the first part of next year, let's do that. Allison Bliss.
Thank you, President Tom. My guest today is Elizabeth Dougherty, who is the Executive Director for Holy, WHOLLY, H2O.
Holy water, we got it. It's fantastic.
And she does water, her company's about watershed management. And she's been not only a grant recipient of ours, but she's going to be doing a tour for us sometime next year.
That's right. We'll do that with High Adventure. So High Adventure Group, let's connect. Keith Uriarte, welcome.
President Tom, my guest today and your guest today, Keith Uriarte, mostly retired. The guest today is the guest of President Tom and myself. Victor Flores, who is the resilience manager of the Green Belt Alliance. And if anyone is thinking, why is he wearing this ugly belt sweater that lights up? Because he will be running for District 7 of the Bike Board.
All right, welcome, Victor. All right, Trisha Connors.
Hi, thank you, President Tom. Stand up, Kath. My guest today is Kathleen Gardella. Kathy is here to go to San Francisco with Carrie Hamill and I to celebrate John Burton's 91st birthday. And we worked together for him 100 years ago.
Wow, welcome. Sean Marks.
Thank you, Tom. I'm Sean Marks, past president, and I have Tom's guest today, who's Lisa Perlman. She's a Rotary member of Uptown, so I guess you don't need to get double introduced, but she's also an author. Welcome, Lisa.
Welcome. Thank you. Okay, so I think we're good. All right, so today we are conducting some important Rotary Club business. Our Constitution and bylaws provide that the election of the president-elect nominee and members of the board of directors, along with the mid-year report and financial report, shall take place on a Thursday in December. I now call to order the annual meeting of the Rotary Club of Oakland. Due to travel conflicts, we will provide a mid-year finance update at our next meeting on January 4th. Club Secretary Michael Bruck, do we have a quorum? We do. All right. So I will begin with a mid-year report to the club. If we could show the slides, Peter. Okay, so next slide. In July, I wanted to focus on improving our meeting experience, promoting fellowship, member engagement, and community involvement. So we upgraded our sound in the ballroom for offsites, and we tried to improve our Zoom experience and make meetings more fun. Next slide. And improved our branding through banners, club pins, and hats. Next slide. We had a solid roster of great guest speakers, local sports legends Andy Dolich and Dave Newhouse, Oakland Jeopardy's champion Amy Schneider, Rotary International President Jennifer Jones, jazz aficionado Chuy Varela, and our lunch meetings have also supported and promoted 16 different small local businesses. Offsite meetings have included the Oakland Roots facility, Summer Picnic Lake Temescal, Henry J. Kaiser, Halloween at Chapel of the Chimes. Next slide. And along member engagement, we're sharing each week what our committees are working on and inviting members to get involved. Also, we're doing monthly DEI fellowship moments, and we launched the We Care Committee, which provides monthly birthday cakes to celebrate all of you, get well cards, and also just check-ins on our members. We did increase membership. We have around 20 new members over the past 5 months. Next slide. And we're improving the visibility of Rotary through community engagements. Grants, we've already spent our allocation or committed our allocation to our nonprofits in Oakland, as well as moving forward with some new international projects. Volunteer work, Laney College, which is a huge thing. So Carrie and Trisha, if you could please just stand up. You guys have been amazing. Weekly, and all of the team. Who's been to Laney? Karen Friedman. How could I forget you, Karen? All right. So anyways, this is an awesome thing. I encourage everybody to go on Wednesdays. So also we did the toy book and coat drive last week, and we've even volunteered at Oktoberfest, pouring lots of beer and tasting it. We did the altar at the Dia de los Muertos Festival and in the ballroom honoring past Rotarians. And we volunteered at the Oakland Roots Street Side Soccer. We also did some park cleanups at Joaquin Miller and Redwood Parks, and we are giving Rotary hats to all of our volunteers. We're also supporting local arts and sports teams. We had a huge party at ACT's The Hippest Trip, which, in this picture, a few people caught COVID, but And then we purchased tickets to the Oakland Interfaith Gospel Choir's recent concert and the Piedmont East Bay Choir Candlelight Concert. And of course, supporting our local sports teams, the Oakland Roots and Oakland Spiders. At our next meeting on January 4th, I will be sharing what I have planned for the second half of the year. So I would have been very happy just with this. I think we've done a lot, but next year's we're gonna have more fun. We're gonna have more social after work type of activities and lots of offsite meetings, including a brown bag. So moving on to elections. So past President Seth Butner delivered the report of the nominating committee on November 30th. The nominees for members of the board of directors for a 3-year term commencing on July 1st, 2024 are Christine Watson, Greg Annis, Cedric Titus, if you could please stand, and Isaac Koss-Reed, who's joining us online. The nominee for president-elect for a 1-year term commencing on July 1st, 2025 is our very own Joe Garalka. So, are there any nominations from the floor? All right. All right. Are there any nominations from our Zoom audience, Peter?
No nominations.
Okay. I will close the nominations and proceed with the election. For those of you on Zoom, please register your votes in the chat. All those in favor of electing Christine Watson, Greg Annis, Cedric Titus, and Isaac Koss-Reed as directors, please say aye or put your aye and vote in the chat. All right, that sounds pretty unanimous. All those opposed, please say nay or put your nay vote in the chat. Okay. The A's have it. So congratulations to our nominees and our directors. Okay, one last one. All those in favor of electing Joe Garalka. Joe, you got thick skin, right, Joe? All right. All those in favor of electing Joe Garalka as president-elect nominees, please say aye or put your aye vote in the chat. All those. All right. All right, give it up for Joe. Awesome. Well, Joe, we look forward to your leadership and working with you and getting you onboarded. I know this is going to be a breeze for you. Okay. So Gail Okama, if you could approach the stage. So we're going to do one last Rotary Hero Award for 2023. So we launched the Rotary Local Hero Award earlier this year because we wanted to recognize members in our club that do extraordinary work within the club and outside of our club and in the community. So our winners this year for this inaugural year include our very own Seth Butner, John Clausen, Bob Barth, and Alex Paulson. So all stars. Today, we are recognizing a member who has provided and done so much for the club and quietly been a force to many different initiatives. You're on your way, though. You're on your way. So Jason is my Luther. If you're a Key and Peele fan, he's my Luther. So Gail Okama will reveal who this incredible Rotarian is.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I don't want you to be worried if any of you saw that I have multiple pages here. It's because I had eye surgery and I need print to be about this big. You're all a blur to me. But I did not want to miss this opportunity when Tom called to recognize Karen Friedman. I'm so wobbly. I'm hanging on. I'm so happy. Karen Friedman is a Rotarian heroine. She is the one you call when you want to get something done. She can organize it or pitch in at the last moment. She gets ideas of how to help others and translates them into action. Let's look at some examples. The Laney Food Program.
Yes, hold on. Yes, sir.
Karen served on the Laney Foundation board, so was familiar with their needs. When she heard about the food insecurity that students were experiencing, she knew who to contact to start the ball rolling to create the weekly food distribution program. Beyond being an idea generator, she is a hands-on person. She is there every single week, making sure that everything is set up properly and then actually handing out the food. Another example, the Rotary Columbia Project Fair. Karen made the connections with Columbian Rotarians. She encouraged Oakland number 3 members to go to Columbia, participate in the Project Fair, meet fellow Rotarians, and then travel for a week. Project funding and lifelong friendships resulted due to Karen's efforts. Oakland number 3. Karen has served in many capacities, from chairing the World Community Service Committee to being on the board. In each capacity, she has brought her knowledge and caring concern, as well as a fun sense of humor. Meals on Wheels. Karen loves her, quote, clients. On her weekly distribution, she adds special treats, like cookies at the holidays, and takes time to talk with each person. She is not just a drop and go Amazon delivery person. She is a friend who takes the time to listen. She also serves on the board of directors for Meals on Wheels. Lantern Projects, a nonprofit local organization. Karen serves as a member of the 3-person board of directors, and she is responsible for formatting the bi-monthly solicitation email and keeping the website current. More importantly, she serves as a partner in decision-making. Karen's infectious enthusiasm makes you want to join her in helping others. She is a good friend who characterizes the best of Rotary. She is a true Rotarian heroine. Please honor her. Thank you.
Well, I'm just going to say a few words. I love being part of Oakland number 3. Everything that I've done from the time that I joined 10 years ago or so has come out of my heart. It's been because they were great partners here in this room and online and so on. And it's just been great. So thank you so much, Tom. And thank you for everybody for appreciating it.
Tom, we might have some bell ringers, so keep your eyes open.
Oh, boy. All right. Now my mind's gonna go blank. All right. Dudley Thompson. Alex Polson. Linda Bosenecker. Joe Garalka. Seth Butner. Christine Watson. Gail Okama. Shannon Ackley.
Shannon.
Brad Morris. Michael Bruck. Julie Ing. Ruth Strout. Pam Clausen, Ken Benson, Bob Breaker.
There it is.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry.
Did we get everybody?
No. I messed up. It's not Julie Ing. I'm sorry. Very embarrassing.
All right.
No. Ramona Chang.
Ramona, yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Karen Friedman.
For herself. Fantastic.
All right. Thank you.
Pres-
Thank you, everyone.
President Tom,
Congratulations, Karen. You very well deserved.
President Tom,
This is the time of the meeting.
President Tom,
Yes.
we have John Holmgren online.
We have
Ringing the
who?
bell. John Holmgren.
John Holmgren. All right, so this part of the meeting is our annual Feed the Hungry, and to get some money raised, Lorna Padilla Marcus is gonna help me out.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians and President Tom Lamone. It's my pleasure to help lead this year's pledge drive for Feed the Hungry. First of all, I just want to say there's forms on the table. So to help Tom, because there will be many bell ringers, and you will all be encouraged to raise your hand, but if you can also help us out by writing down your name and the amount of your pledge on the form at the table. So somebody said earlier about, when we ask for money, sometimes people, go flying out the door and in the other direction. This is one opportunity to give money that 100% of the proceeds we raise will help the food insecure here in Oakland. You heard today from St. Mary's Center about the thousands of folks that they serve each year. So I hope that you will help support me and all our fellow Rotarians as we raise money for Feed the Hungry today. So I'm going to start high and lofty. Well, first of all, I just want to name the organizations we supported last year. Operation Dignity, Alameda County Food Bank, Harbor House, Oakland Catholic Workers, and St. Vincent de Paul, as well as you heard from St. Mary's Center. We raised $38,000 last year. Let's exceed that this year. So I'm going to start off with a lofty goal. Do I have somebody out there that's willing to pledge $10,000? Is he in the room? Well, we had a fellow who's pledging $10,000, but I don't see him in the room. However, I know that he will honor his commitment. Would anybody else like to match that anonymous donor at $10,000? All right. How about at $5,000? Do I have any that will be willing to pledge at $5,000 to support Feed the Hungry here in Oakland? I have Ruth Straub. Thank you very much, Ruth. Do I have somebody else that will join Ruth in the room? At $2,500, do I have those who will help support me at $2,500? Joe Goralka, Sel Sputner, Fred Morse. Thank you very much. And we have an online, Peter. Oh, Peter Sheriff will chip in at $2,500. Thank you so much. Do I have any others? I don't want to leave anybody out that's willing to support it. $2,500. We have some music here to accompany us. Our next level, I'd like to lead the charge at $1,000. Who will join me at $1,000? I have Gary Flaxman. Thank you very much. I have Dudley Thompson. Thank you very much. Any others that are willing to chip in at $1,000? $1,000 is less than $100 a month. How much money do we spend on coffee, snacks? I always call tchotchkes that you buy that stuff, you never know what happened to it. You buy it, you throw it in the garage, a year later, you say, oh, there it is. $1,000, you can make an incredible difference for those who are food insecure here in Oakland. Peter, do we have any online? Okay. Our next level is at $500. Who will support me at $500? I have Karen Friedman, Linda Bosenecker, Robert Kidd, Steve Blair. I have Shannon Hackley. Any others at $500? We have an online.
Mary Jiang
And Mary Jiang. Thank you, Mary.
and Isaac Koss Reed.
And Isaac Koss Reed. Thank you. All participate in at $250. Who will support at $250? Kimberly Miller, thank you very much. I'm sorry, can you shout out your name here? Chris Moore, thank you very much. I have Greg Ennis. I have Ken Benson, Pam Clausen, and Trish Connors. Sorry, it's been a while since I've done this up here from up here. Allison Bliss. Thank you very much. So that's for Daniel Chang. And I have Tom Lamone at $250. Peter Sheriff, do you have any online? We do not. Okay, now, before I start the next level, I want you to think about, as we walk down the street and we think about, there for the grace of God go I. I've had times in my life as a single parent that I didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. I had to go to the coin jar from all the change I'd saved up for the prior month to have a little spending money for coffee and lunch. We've all walked in the shoes of those who are food insecure here in our community. So I hope you will join us at $100. So who will start off at $100? I have Teresa. I have Alex Paulson, Keith Jerome, Ken Richardson, sorry. Colleen. I have, I'm looking right at her and I know her name, Children's Fairyland. Thank you very much. And Children's Fairyland's best half, or better half, I should say, David Stein, Michael Bruck, Sean Marks. I have Bruce Nye. I have Merlin Edwards. I have Keith Yarardi, Bob Barth. I have Deep, Victor, and Sean Kellum, Jackson, Deborah Van Nest, Ramona Chang, and I have Deborah Van Nest. No, yeah. Deborah Barnes. I'm sorry. Deborah Barnes. I have the right name, right? First name, right? Okay. Who's taking the money today?
Yeah.
Morning. Maureen, thank you very much. Okay, and who else do I have in the room? I have Christine Watson. And Peter Shears, and yes, yeah. Okay.
Also, they can pay in the back right now. I just did it. It's easy peasy. Jesse, there's gonna be a line.
So Jason has given me good guidance here. So I'm gonna once we do the 100s, I want to remind you, you can all pay your pledge online or with the square in the back with Jesse. And Peter, do you have some others at $100?
I have Deep at $250. That's Deep. I
Okay.
have Jesse Schmidt at 100.
Jesse Schmidt.
John Holmgren at 100.
Okay.
Stephanie Cosenza, 100.
Okay.
Miss Ricca at 100. Stuart Epstein at 100. Will
Okay.
Hobbs at 100.
Hobbs, thank you. And Jason also reminded me, I missed a $200 level. So if I did not speak up to the 200, and that's saying to you, do you have any folks in the room that would like to pledge at $200? Right here. Carrie Hamill, thank you very much, Carrie. Jason, did you want to pledge $200 since you brought it up? Okay, he already paid. Fred Morris. Okay, sounds good. All right, we are not done yet. Sass, you have a comment back there? Were you raising your hand or just scratching your face? Okay. All right, we are not done yet. We are not done yet. Oh, he does have something to say.
Hold on, let me get the mic to you, sir. Did you hear that? 2,500 from Steve Nichols, the handsome man who's not here.
Thank you.
Just phoned it in.
Okay. We're not done yet. Do I have those who would like to pledge at $50 today? Do I have those who would like to pledge at 50? I have Linda Hamilton, thank you. Any others at $50? Carrie Bukovich, thank you very much. Okay. And how many of us have a $25 Starbucks card? If you haven't pledged already, this is your opportunity to pledge $25. So I have any pledges of $25. Every dollar counts. I have Lois back here. Any others at $25? Okay, remember, December is a giving month. If you haven't pledged today, and for those that will be in the bulletin, if you want to continue to pledge, we will take your contributions. Thank you guys for supporting Feed the Hungry.
Thank you, Lorna. All right, thank you very much, Lorna, and thanks everyone who donated today. So Peter, we're gonna skip ahead and get to our speakers. So yes, sir. Arma.
Give you a round of applause for all those who donated. It's not the money, it's the deed. So give you a round of applause. Come on, go ahead, go ahead.
All right, Kim Miller, will you please introduce our speaker today?
I sure will, President Tom. Hey, happy December, Rotarians. How are you feeling out there? So I am super excited to introduce our speaker today. She is a real town pioneer. And let me tell you how I know that. This town pioneer came to Children's Fairyland at our invitation. And not only did she show parents and children what it's like to cook together and create together in the kitchen, she also is such a good sport and talks to our puppet mascot. So she's a real good real good with kids play and such a lifting spirit at Fairyland. Tamearra Dyson, welcome. She is a second-generation Bay Area native, tracing her lineage to Louisiana. She faced early life hardships in a single-parent household, experiencing food insecurity, much like we talk about today, and enduring an abusive environment. Despite these challenges, her determination led her to excel at Marin General Hospital's endoscopy unit for nearly a decade, earning commendation and support from esteemed physicians for her work. While juggling single motherhood, day shifts, and nursing school, Tamearra courageously pursued her entrepreneurial dream, transitioning from a secure job spirit. This bold move required leaving behind hard-earned stability to carve her own way. With resilience and unwavering dedication, she continues to defy the odds, embodying the spirit of perseverance. Tamearra's story is a testament to resilience, demonstrating how personal challenges can fuel one's drive to succeed against all odds. Her journey stands as an inspiration, showcasing the triumph of determination in the face of adversity. She is a well-regarded, world-renowned, well-awarded top chef. Welcome, Tamearra Dyson.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. I did not put on the shoes because I'm behind this podium, so you don't know what shoes I have on. No need to torture myself. All right. Okay. Very happy to be here. Oakland is very near and dear to my heart for many reasons. Am I supposed to put this? I don't know if am I supposed to put this on? Okay. So I'm happy to share with you all today just a bit of my journey and my story and what led me to be kind of the person that I am standing before you today. So to begin with, when I was about 4 years old or earlier, I had experiences with what I eventually called or labeled visits. Which were spirits that came to me as a young girl to taunt me in one way or another. 2 of them were reoccurring, in which that entity would come to me every night and massage the back of my neck and my back. With every stroke, igniting unbearable fear that literally penetrated through my entire body. The vibration that came from each stroke was both terrifying and crippling. With that and many more similar experiences, by the time I was about 11 years old, I had trained myself to get out of my dreams. To realize that in that dream state, it was only an experience in an alternate world that I had the power to wake myself up from and completely remove myself out of. And from 11 years old, I started my journey and my path of controlling my vibration. By the way, I've never prepared for a speech. I speak often, and with this, I felt it necessary to prepare myself and actually be organized. I usually go off cuff, so this is important to me. All right, moving on. My mother was/is a beautiful woman who worked very hard to nurture us 3 kids. My sister sitting there. I am the youngest of 3. It was not uncommon for my mother to work no less than 2 jobs, but somehow it was never enough. We would go hungry and often not eat actually for 3 days at a time. while my father, who had remarried, was doing very well for himself on the other side of town, which was Oakland. The yay, no, just if I can give an example of how much my mother loved us, it would be that to this day, I remember being hungry. I remember that we had no food, but I never remembered feeling hungry. Is that the love that my mother poured into us 3 kids literally filled our bellies. One day, my mother thought it best to leave us 3 kids with my father, a decision that would ultimately change the course of my life forever. Going from all the love that my mother poured into us to the hatred and abuse from my father was both devastating and incomprehensible. As my 8-year-old self, I did not understand why my father seemingly hated me so much. I experienced both physical and mental abuse that removed all my self-worth and dignity. It took a long time for me to regain that confidence I had lost during that traumatic time. What helped is that I realized that my father was not himself, and that he began to indulge in using drugs, which made him very different from the man my mother originally married, who I was told was a loving and caring father. Returning to my mother at the age of 11, she lived in an area where crime and selling drugs was a way of life. Oh, the photos. Okay, great. Great, awesome. So returning to my mother at the age of 11, where selling drugs and crime was a way of life, I found my family in a similar financial situation where we were struggling once again. So we went from my mother cooking whole meals for us, including treats like apples and raisins, yogurt and granola, black-eyed peas and butternut squash soup, to us having only $1 to go down the street to the Hostess manufacturing plant, buying their less than perfect pies that they would sell at a very cheap price, Twinkies, pies, etc. Us 3 kids would eat off that for a couple days. So there I was. Well, I can't cry because then my makeup will fade, and we're not having that today. Not having that today. So there I was, 12 years old, and I was tired of struggling and going hungry. With the fear of having my mother leave us again, I began to sell drugs myself. Though despite that, my family did separate, I used that money to help my friend's family that I went to go live with. I did stop selling drugs when I got old enough to get a job. When I was 16 years old, we lived across the street from a convalescent hospital. The owner, Poncell Lane, was an honorary.
Mini meeting, what you need?
Someone online.
Okay.
Okay, I can't talk right now.
Okay, was the owner, Miss Lane, was an honorary, strong-willed woman.
I can't come pick up her payment if that's what she wants. So
she owned a 30-bed rehabilitation facility. I fixed my eyes on it and I wanted to work there. Not knowing anything about the medical field or what the job would require, I just knew that I wanted to work there. Well, she kept telling me to come back on Wednesday. It was something about Wednesday, come back Wednesday, come back Wednesday. So every Wednesday I would return. On the 8th time, she said, "You're still coming back?" That's when I figured out that she was trying to get rid of me. I said, "You said come back on Wednesday." Ultimately, she did hire me, and that helped to establish my professional platform in the medical industry before going on to nursing, where I worked for many years in the surgery center at Marin General Hospital before launching Souley Vegan. Souley Vegan was a thought long before it came into fruition. And when I opened my location at 301 Broadway, Oakland, I had not a dime in my pocket. I had only the will to succeed and the knowing that I had to succeed. This drive was largely based on the need for me to secure my mother, that she would never have to move again or ask anybody for anything or watch her children starve. I worked long and hard, 18 to 20-hour days to grow Souley Vegan into the renowned name that it is today. I'll tell you that before I opened up the restaurant at 301 Broadway, I had a short-lived location at 431 14th Street. That location lasted about 5 months exactly. We were not set up to be a full-service restaurant, and what the city required, I had not the funding to build out that location, nor did I own the property. It wouldn't have made sense. So I closed that location, which brought me into a short depression. I had just been able to help my mother with her ailments. She suffers from fibromyalgia. I had just been able to start buying her the expensive herbs and the medicine that she needed to literally change her life. And so when we closed, I just kind of fell to my knees and I'm like, what is going on? You know, I'm working so hard only to kind of run into a brick wall. So we closed that location. As I said, I fell into a short depression. Less than 9 months later, I signed the lease at 301 Broadway, where we operated for just under 15 years extremely successfully. Now, as you know, and now as I enter a stage of new beginnings, I realized that all that trauma, the challenges and adversities were not a misfortune. Every single experience was there to train me, mold me into the person I am now and the person I am to become. My stories are here to help those like you and me who may not be able to find the light in moments of darkness. I found what makes me come alive, and ironically, it's telling the stories of experiences that at the time I thought would kill me. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
It was better without the shoes.
Yes, I agree, Cookie Man.
DJ?
It's so great to have you here, Tamearra. So I understand you might be coming out with a new book. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I didn't mention that. Yeah, spring of 2004, it's a culinary memoir. So it will speak about a lot of the things that I spoke to you about today, as well, just kind of tell my culinary journey through food. Food obviously meant a lot to us growing up for one reason or another. So I'm really excited about it. It's very transparent and vulnerable. And yeah, and I'm super excited about it. Pre-sale will start the end of January. Yeah.
Thank you for being here. I've eaten at your restaurant.
Thank you.
What I wanted to know is that when you started the business, how did you get the capital? Because even to this day, it's really difficult for women of color and people of color to get the capital to go forward.
Yeah, thank you so much. So honestly, this is the story, is that when I closed the location at 431 13th Street or 14th Street, I went back to the farmer's market. This is where we started in 2007. Went back to the farmer's market, took any and all catering orders that didn't make financial sense. I'd drive over the bridge for $150. With that being said, when I walked into that location, when the owner did the walkthrough with me, I walked in with very high confidence that this was my place and that she has to, give this place to me. With that being said, obviously I didn't have enough capital to open the place. My uncle Patrick, my Uncle Patrick Williams, and I hadn't mentioned my grandfather today. But my Uncle Patrick is, he reminds me most of my grandfather, and my grandfather is the man that I admire most in the world. He knocked on my door, the door of the restaurant, and I was in there, I was cleaning, I was, on my hands and knees, just wondering how I was even going to get equipment for this place. He knocked on my door again. I hadn't seen him in years, and he says, "Hey, when are you going to open up?" He's so funny. And he went ahead and he helped me purchase the equipment. Actually, he purchased my equipment for me. And then I just, he allowed me to pay him back in increments. So with that being said, it was all divine fate that you hear of, kind of the cliche, take a step and, a step will come or door will open. I can't remember verbatim, something like that. But that's been the entire journey, is me jumping before there was a platform to hold me. And I believe that it was my experiences growing up that taught me to have faith in myself and my dreams and what I want, and knowing that it's going to work. It has to work because I deserve it.
That's inspirational.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your journey. Very heartwarming, and congratulations on all your success.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Beer Revolution used to be one of my favorite spots in the Bay Area for beer.
Yeah.
And you now, I think, have the lease on the place. What's planned?
Yeah. So actually, I let that place go. I did not need financially. I didn't need another, liability. Right now, we're actually transitioning to open up a location in Sebastopol at the Bar Low. With that being said, we are in a major transition right now, and I have kind of refocused the goal of our ultimate kind of destination, which is to kind of get into airports and then also potentially casinos. We're in some conversations. But with that said, Sebastopol will kind of serve as the template. And then off of that, we will then begin to open up, kind of more locations strategically placed as opposed to just standard brick and mortars. Yeah.
Hi, Tamearra. Thank you for speaking today.
Thank you.
I love Souley Vegan. I love the crab cakes and macaroni and cheese.
Thank you.
And while I think your food is worthy of the question, my question is about the building at 301 Broadway. I've heard that's, if not the oldest, one of the oldest buildings in Oakland. Do you know anything about that? And if it is, I'm glad you guys are there to extend the heritage of the building.
Yeah, thank you so much. Actually, it is literally not one of the oldest. As you said, it's not one of the oldest, but the oldest building in Oakland. You are absolutely correct. And ironically, like within one day, a guy walks through. He's the person that did the floors. Another woman walks through, her father owned it. Apparently, multiple years ago, apparently it's always been some sort of saloon is kind of what they would call it. So some eating and dining place. So yeah, so it's it's a very special place.
Last question. I just want to say, first of all, congratulations on following your dream, and you're truly an inspiration. You want to talk a little bit about how your journey and determining the cuisine menu that you were going to have for your restaurant?
My menu?
Happening upon Souley Vegan and your cuisine and menu, what was your journey in making that decision?
Yeah, so thank you so much for that question. So I actually turned vegan myself when I was 17. My grandfather, who I mentioned, was an incredible man, and I loved him so very much. You would have thought that I spent a lot more time with him than I actually did. He was from Louisiana. When I began cooking, I had already turned vegan. And so with that being said, the cuisine that I primarily gravitated to was that Louisiana Creole. And so I started developing my own recipes. Some of the recipes, which my mother won't claim because she says I don't do them right. Some of the recipes I did get from my mother, but ultimately I got in the kitchen, I mixed my own spices, learned to make tofu 1,000 different ways, and just kind of developed the menu that way. Staying true to that Louisiana flavor profile was very important to me. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
No, what an incredible journey and story. Thank you for sharing that very private and personal story. It was, yeah, thank you. So as a special gift to our speakers, we are making a donation in your honor to the Ann Woodell Swim Scholarship Fund so that every child in Oakland can learn to swim by 5th grade. So thank you. And so how did everyone enjoy our speaker, our nominations, our elections, our cookies? Was it good? Well, we had a secret panel working behind the scenes judging our cookies. So I know mine didn't win. I know that. But anyways, we do have a couple of winners and I'd like to offer them some Godiva chocolate. So Lorna Padilla Marcus, did you make the chocolate marshmallow dish? Yeah. You get one. And then someone else provided an 80-year-old recipe. Miss Carolyn Annis. And then last week we had a toy donation, a toy drive, book drive, and coat drive. And so Carrie Hamill, I wanted to thank you for taking that over to Laney College last Friday. And those toys were delivered, they were actually given out on Tuesday, right? By Santa Claus, made a personal visit. So thank you, Carrie. So January 4th is our next meeting. And so at that meeting, we will be I'll be announcing, sort of the plans for next year, but also we are encouraging everyone to pay their invoices that have been sent out. And whoever is paid up or goes on the monthly recurring, we're really trying to promote that also, monthly recurring payments. You'll be entered into a free lunch for the next 6 months. So that's a little bit of an incentive, Julie Fox was the winner last July. So we would like to do that again. And it'll also make operations in our club easier to manage and less of a headache for Jesse. So we really encourage that. And what else? Also, these hats. So next week is the party at Fred Morris's house, the Rager at Fred Morris's house. Tamearra, you and your sister are invited to join us. Yeah, next Thursday. And so we're going to be giving out a couple prizes for ugly sweaters. So Victor, you're welcome to show up, but also if you're wearing a hat, one lucky winner will win a gift certificate, $50 gift certificate to Bevmo. So there are only 20 of these hats in this club. So your chances are pretty good. So I think we still have a few available, and please be sure to bust your tables. And if you want.
Internet went down just in the last few seconds. Thank you so much.